From the blaze of emergency response to the beacon of security in retirement, this is the Atlas Annuity Podcast with your host, Marty Becker. Strap in, folks. Marty isn't your ordinary retirement planner. He's the financial firefighter who swapped his helmet for a headset to bring you the hottest safe money strategies in retirement without an ounce of burn. From guarding lives in the face of flames, Marty now shields your savings from the unpredictability of the stock market. He's the president, the owner, and annuity expert at Atlas Financial Strategies. Here's your host, Marty Becker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Atlas Annuity Podcast. This is Marty Becker. I am your host and the owner of Atlas Financial Strategies in St. Louis, Missouri. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to choose the right annuity for your situation. In a previous episode, we talked about how there are around 200 different annuity companies, and each company has anywhere from 5 to 20 different annuities. So on the low end, that's 1,000 different annuities to choose from. Some are really great. Some are not even worth your time to read the brochure. And one of the biggest problems in this industry is you have advisors that are out there that are just trying to push the same annuity to everyone. Now, if you've ever gone to a dinner seminar and the speaker presented an annuity to you, this is exactly what I'm referring to. You have a situation where there's a room full of people, all with different backgrounds and needs and financial means, and the guy is standing in front of the whole room telling everyone that this is the best annuity out there. And I can assure you that is not how this industry works. I am in the business of second opinions because people come to me almost on a daily basis with incorrect recommendations. And I have done a lot of business just by showing people their original recommendation was totally inappropriate for their situation. So if you think of annuity shopping like car shopping, normally the vehicle you're driving at the present moment represents the stage of life that you are in. So, when you're young and single with no kids, you probably want something that's fun and most likely impractical, maybe like a Mustang or a Corvette. These cars are built to have fun. That is their purpose. Now, when you move into a different stage of life and have kids, you may need a minivan or an SUV. And there's nothing fun about a minivan whatsoever. And there's nothing practical about an SUV. But it's what you need at that point in your life. Or maybe you're a contractor and you need an F-250 to haul tools and to tow trailers to job sites. That vehicle serves a purpose for that time of your life. And then maybe you get to retirement and you have some discretionary income and you have one car to be practical and another car just to have fun. So your life changes as time goes on, and different seasons of your life call for different things in almost every area of your life. When I start putting together a strategy for my clients, the very first question I'm going to ask is, what is the purpose of your money? Because I want to know, are we looking for growth and protection? Are we looking for guaranteed income? Or are we looking to leave money behind? And a lot of people will say, well, I want all three, which I totally understand. Everyone wants the best of everything. That's human nature. And some people can certainly do that if they have the means. Just like there's people out there right now who maybe have 3 or 4 kids and they have the minivan and they have the play car to take out on a date night, which is great. But if you have 3 or 4 kids and you can only afford one car, then looking at the Corvette doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it doesn't serve the purpose of why you need the vehicle, which is to haul around a bunch of kids. So the more specific we can define the purpose of your money, the better the decision we can make in picking an appropriate annuity. Because honestly, there are annuities out there that will give you all the things that I mentioned earlier. But as an early mentor of mine told me, there are no deals in the insurance industry. Everything is based on math. So if you have an annuity that offers guaranteed income and opportunities for indexing growth and long-term care benefits and a bigger death benefit, you're going to get lackluster results in every one of those areas. And if you have the means, we would be better off picking separate annuities for each one of those purposes, because that's how you're going to get the most effective return in each area. In order to get a specific answer to the question, what is the purpose of your money? I could ask it another way. Is this going to be a plan for living, or is this a plan for dying? And I understand that's kind of harsh, but we really need to get specific on what we need your money to do so we can get you the most effective outcome. Really, what purpose does your money need to serve you? So once we do have the purpose of money defined, then we can start down the path of which type of annuity is appropriate. If you have $50,000 in Social Security between you and your spouse, but you need $80,000 in income, then we're probably going to look at getting your basic living expenses covered with an annuity that will give you guaranteed lifetime income. If all your expenses are covered by Social Security and pensions and rental income, and we just want some growth and protection, we're probably going to look at a multi-year guaranteed annuity. In the same situation, if all your living expenses are covered, but you want to go after the bigger growth opportunities, then we're probably going to look at just a fixed indexed annuity that will give you the bigger opportunities for growth, but also with the downside protection from loss. And if you want a specific amount of money left behind for your kids or your grandkids, then first thing we'll look at is some sort of permanent life insurance, because that's the most effective way to pass money along. But if you cannot qualify for life insurance, then we'll look at an annuity that comes with a large bonus that goes directly towards the death benefit. And maybe if you just want some income in addition to your other revenue sources that you can change on an annual basis as far as the amounts that you take, and you have enough money, then maybe we can just look at a growth annuity that you can pull the interest from, but when you need it or want it. Everyone is different with different circumstances. So therefore, the recommendations need to be different for each client. Every strategy and recommendation that I give is 100% custom to the client that I am speaking with. And I know there are advisors out there that will only recommend fixed index annuities for growth, or they'll only recommend MYGAs, and there are some that'll only recommend income annuities. And I find that to be insane, because no one strategy is the same. And then, of course, there are the advisors out there that tell you you don't need an annuity at all, and you can do it all with stocks and bonds. And I find that to be equally insane, because they cannot guarantee anything they're saying. And just as crazy in that situation, if you do stick to your guns and say, no, I do want an annuity, they will scramble and just randomly pick some annuity that they can get access to just to keep you from walking out the door and losing your business. We covered how I picked the right type of annuity for you by helping you define the purpose of your money. But how do I determine which is the best company that will provide that annuity to you? When you work with me, I am what's known as a non-captive advisor. I have access to all the companies out there, and I use third-party software that compares all the annuities right next to each other and show you concrete evidence that you are getting the best annuity for your situation. And I personally even go a little further than just the comparison software. I have 4 criteria that I take into consideration when choosing a company for my clients. Number 1 is the financial stability of the annuity company. I personally never want to go below a B plus rated company, and preferably an A rated company. But if there's a B plus company that is blowing everyone out of the water with their guarantees, then there are a couple other criteria to take into consideration beyond the letter grade, which is something called a solvency ratio and their risk-based capital score. A solvency ratio is the percentage of a company's assets over liabilities. And as long as they're 103% or more, you're going to be in really good hands. The risk-based capital measures the amount of capital required to meet different elements of risk including assets, interest rates, insurance, and other business risk. Now, a company with a 200% RBC score is acceptable, but most likely you're going to see companies over 300 to 350%. So that's really getting into the weeds of things, but if you stick with a B plus or above, you'll be fine. Criteria number 2 when picking the company for a client is the highest payout or growth potential. And this is where that third-party software comes in to verify that we are going to get the highest income or the highest interest rate or the most growth opportunity. The number 3 criteria when picking an annuity company is who will give us the best benefit. We want to compare the available annuities for your situation and if they will provide additional things besides what the main purpose is. So for instance, if there are 2 competing income annuities, then we'll examine if one of them has a better growth opportunity for extended death benefit or lower expenses, or if they offer something else inside of it, like a long-term care enhancement. And if we're going just for growth and not for income, then we'll see who's going to give us the best interest rate or growth opportunities, and if there's any bonuses that are available. Number 4 criteria when picking an annuity company for a client is customer service. Believe it or not, but this is just as important as the first 3, because there are companies that I have dealt with that offer the first 3, but their customer service sucks. And bad customer service could be anything from having to sit on hold for 30 minutes before someone answers the phone to the company taking months to process paperwork. And you don't want to have to deal with that type of stuff. Annuities are supposed to make your life easier, but if you're dealing with a company that has terrible customer service, it just makes everything a lot harder. I'll actually explain to my clients why we would want to take a little less benefit, not a lot, but a little less, to go with a company that has better customer service. That way, when we know we're going to have to act with a company at some point, if we call them, someone's actually going to pick up the phone and take care of our situation. And at the end of the day, it's really your decision, but it's my job to make you aware of these types of issues that you could come across, which a lot of advisors do not take that into consideration. They're just going to sell you on the hype of the annuity. The way to find the right annuity for you is to tell your advisor what the purpose of your money is. What do you need the money to do for you? And remember, the more purposes you try to assign to your money, the less effective it'll be. Not just with annuities, but with any other type of financial product that you're looking at. And if you're interested in finding out what annuities could be appropriate for you and what would serve the best purpose for your money, head on over to atlasannuity.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar page where you can book a short phone call to get your questions answered. And from that page, you can also navigate to all my other resources, including my video series, 20% More Spendable Income in Retirement. And in that video series, you'll actually learn how to use annuities to be the most effective way possible for your situation. I go through multiple case design examples. If you found today's episode helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with someone you think could benefit from it. Again, this is Marty Becker, wishing you all the best in your financial education, and we'll see you in the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Atlas Annuity Podcast. All information presented is for educational purposes only and is not a recommendation to implement any tax strategy, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or transfer any security or insurance products. Atlas Financial Strategies Incorporated is an insurance-only licensed entity, and any decisions to buy or sell securities should be discussed with a licensed securities advisor, and any tax strategies should be discussed with a licensed tax professional. Past performance of any strategies or products mentioned are not a guarantee of future returns. For any other questions or concerns, please go to www.atlasannuity.com.